understand it's the life that we choose. Doesn't make it any easier to deal with. Yeah, we'll see.
I know you don't want to talk about it, but from a safety standpoint, how do you feel about your safety and knowing that this hasn't just happened to you now? This is now a thing with professional athletes feeling targeted. Do you feel like you need to up your security? Like, how do you feel in terms of your safety?
I've said everything I want to say about it.
Can I ask you something about Callahan?
Yes,
Brian?
please.
Brian Callahan, you signed I think he told you this, you signed a picture of him, of you and Jamat, and he's got it, he doesn't have it displayed yet, but it says you guys are going to the Hall of Fame. And, what were you thinking when you signed that for him, when he asked you to sign it?
I think he was probably right, but Callie's played a huge role in my success throughout my career so far, and so I owe Callie a lot, and he's helped me improve my game and how I approach the game and how I think about football the whole time he was here, so I'm very grateful for him.
He says he can vote for you to be MVP. He says he can vote for you to be MVP if you had a vote.
I guess I think we got some more games before I have any comment on that, I would say.
You, Dan Pitcher, obviously he was kind of a new study to Callahan. Do you see any of that rub off with him at all? That stuff you might have got from Callie and kind of passed on to Pitch?
I think just the way that our offensive coaches approach coaching in general, they all kind of have a similar philosophy, and that philosophy really, really fits well with how I play the game, how I see the game. And when I came into the league, it was a match made in heaven immediately. I could tell that I was going to have a great relationship with every single coach that we had, and Callie played a big role in that, as well as Pitch did. And I think, as we grew together, then coaching styles continued to adapt. How I saw it continued to adapt, and how I played continued to adapt, and it all kind of grew together.
You just talked about Pitch, but a couple games left of the season. His name, probably because of how well you guys played on offense, get named as someone to watch in the head coaching circuit. Do you see those traits in him as him being able to be a successful head coach in the NFL?
I do. He's really good in front of the team. That's the biggest thing that us as players look for when people ask you that kind of question. All coaches, I feel like, have scheme that they can go and attack opposing defenses and offenses, but what presence do you have in front of the team? What's your message? And I think Pitch always has very well thought out messages, and his presence in front of the team is high level. So when he gets his chance, I think he'll be ready for it, and it'll be he'll do a great job.
They obviously have a lot of new faces, some new faces over there. But the ones that you're used to seeing is that defensive front. How challenging is it every time?
Yeah, it's all you're going to be sore after the game. Those guys play really hard. They're tough, physical, athletic. They're going to get home. You got to play the game the right way against these kinds of teams and get the ball out quickly, extend when you can. They're going to win some rushes pretty quick sometimes, and in those instances, how quickly can you get out and make a play?
Does it feel like you've been there every year?
Yeah, I think we pretty much have.
What you were running from last year, obviously being a little.
Yeah, last year wasn't great. That first third of the season when my calf wasn't feeling great. That was it's tough to play against those kind of teams if you can't move around. That's kind of been historically against the Titans. I feel like I made a lot of plays with my legs because of how good they've been up front, and I'm anticipating having to do that again.
How's the knee?
It's getting better. We'll be ready to go.
Is it a pain thing or is it a mobility thing?
It's all good.
Do you think he'd go forward tomorrow practice?
See how it feels in the morning.
Do you think it matters if you go forward?
I don't think so.
How do you go about compartmentalizing things off the field and things on the field and staying focused during this, especially at a juncture of the season like this?
It's definitely been difficult this week, but for the most part, I'm pretty good at it. Considering during the season, don't really have a personal life. It's kind of all football. Obviously things come up that you don't expect, and when those come up, you try to do your best to handle them quickly and be able to move on from it and focus on ball.
Has that been by design with your career? Like even when you were growing up or playing LSU, that you want to kind of section out those parts of your life accordingly by the season?
I would say when I got into the NFL, that it became that way. When you really want to sit down and focus on what you need to focus on.
Does that make everything that's happening? Does that make prep for Sunday more challenging? How does that kind of affect how you prepare?
No, I mean the short week is the biggest challenge for that. Monday night games are my least favorite for the following week, especially road ones. You get back late, you lose a bunch of sleep, so then you sleep in late on Tuesday. Now you already have a late start for game planning for the week, so that's always challenging.
I think the numbers would say that these last 6 weeks or so, offensively, when you guys roll the ball out with 27 points, what has been the difference this year, these last 6 weeks, that have maybe put it over the top? What are like 1 or 2 elements that you think in your mind have taken it to the next level?
I think Chase Brown has played a big role. Whenever he gets the ball in his hand, he makes somebody miss, creates an explosive play. He's been unbelievable. Obviously, having Jamar and T out there at the same time makes things so much easier for me, for the running game, for each other, and it just opens up a whole different box of worms for opposing defenses to deal with. And our tight ends are playing really well too. I just think everybody that has had opportunities to make plays continues to make them.
Going back to the other night, when did you find out that Jamar and T were going to be captains?
Zach usually sends a text out. I don't check my phone when I get to the stadium, so if somebody, I think Jamar told me, I can't remember, somebody told me.
Recording.
Yeah.
When's the first time you checked your phone? After the game is most time? Like after
Yeah.
the game? What to feel a dose of winning success, like after the stretch that you all have had, 3 straight losses in the bye weekend there, is that something, just feeling that bit of success that you can build on moving forward itself?
Yeah, I mean, it's good to get a win. It's no one win is gonna solve anything at this point. There's not a win out there that can affect a lot of different things right now. So we're just focused on going out and trying to play well, try to find a win on Sunday, and continue to try to get better.
I know you're focused on Sunday and the final 4 weeks, but whether it's small picture or big picture, how important is T. Higgins to this offense and this organization?
He's very important. I think you just look at, it's not even just his production, it's his presence. It's how he comes to work every day. It's how the defenses have to play us when he's out there. T plays such a big part in what we do here and has for 5 years now that I don't think you can quite put a value on that, I would say.
Behind the scenes, are you seeing what you need to be seeing from Jermaine Burton for him to potentially take on a bigger role? I mean, obviously not this year, but T and Jamar obviously being healthy, but has he been showing you what you need in the hours meeting room?
Absolutely. He's been great the last, really ever since the time he was late. He's been engaged, high energy, practices hard. His demeanor on the sideline on game day is fun to be around. I think he's taken a step in that department.
Going back to T, if the front office isn't able to make that work, would you be disappointed in him? Would that change your?
I'd be very disappointed in that, yeah.
How do you balance all the needs that y'all might have within the offense, is where it needs to be? How do you feel like is the best way to go about that?
Say that again?
I guess how do you feel probably trying to think of the best way to ask this is how do you balance basically what y'all might need on the other side of the ball in parts of the team, and while also trying to maintain a
Yeah, we'll see after the season and have those discussions about what we feel needs to happen and the things everybody has to do to do what we want, keep the guys around that we need, and bring in the guys that we to fill some holes that we need. So those discussions will be had at the end of the year.
It's fair to say that T is a need.
T is a need, yes.
Going back to defensive, you had Dallas Cowboys last week and how they attacked you. Is Tennessee different, or it might have been an advantage to play Dallas, and both of these teams are similar defensively?
Yeah, I think Dallas they're an aggressive style defense. Coach Zimmer is a guy that's going to throw a lot of different looks at you, protection-wise, coverage-wise, and that's always challenging for a quarterback mentally. This style of defense is a little different. They're not quite as aggressive, but they play their structure really sound, and their defensive front is very disruptive. So it'll be a different challenge this week.
I feel like neither one team really dominant in your pass rush. I feel like the game's kind of adapted over the years to kind of provide that kind of style.
Yeah, I think this year I'm making plays at a much higher rate than I ever have before outside the structure. I think protection-wise, we've helped with that. Adding some new protections to our scheme and allowing me space and time to make some moves and get out of the pocket. I think that's the biggest part.
What stands out most about your 4 years with Tyler Boyd?
He was just so reliable at every juncture. Felt like if we needed a play in a big moment, then you could turn to TV and he would make a play for you. He would always be in the right spot at the right time. And coming into the league as a young player, you need that reliability and that consistency out of that position. And he helped me grow as a player more than he knows.